to kind of start putting everything together, because otherwise we're going to be here all night, which is
sure.
is a wonderful topic. So we've talked about the aging process. We've talked about how our genes get, upward or downward regulated by the ecosystem that we choose to live in, which is a function of the quality of sleep, quality and quantity of sleep, which in itself is a topic on its own, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Exercise and movement, right? And then our mental health, which is in itself also another topic, and then the foods that we choose to eat, right? So all of that plays a role in creating an ecosystem that is conducive to healing, because at the end, that's what we want, right? We want our body to be in a state where it can heal itself.
Absolutely.
Right? And we do that by being responsible consumers of what we eat. And I love what you said, by the way. I know, in fact, I have an old acquaintance who wouldn't eat lettuce because said that's just water, right? Well, that couldn't be farther from the truth, right? Because it is actually, there's fiber in it that the body, like you said, the biota actually can use that. It may not be very heavy in calories,
Right.
but it's very useful to creating the creation process of this ecosystem that then keeps the immune system not in alert.
And remember, your microbiota gets fed by undigested fibers. So you get food that you're not going to digest, but you're providing food to your microbiota. So remember, microbiota is the largest organ in your body. It's not defined as an organ nowadays, but eventually it is. Because now every single function in your body is related to how healthy you are within your guts.
Very interesting. So I want to make some time, for anybody that has any questions. I mean, I do have questions, but I want to open the floor. I know you had a question earlier. Anybody, any questions for Dr. Jacobo? You're all being very shy. It's the first Friday of the year.
First Friday, yeah.
First Friday of the year. So let me ask you this. Regarding the, it seems like the Greeks were onto something, right? Hippocrates, when he said, let your food be your medicine.
Absolutely.
Right? Amazing that 3,000 years later, we still haven't, choose not to live according to that very simple mandate. But at the end of the day, it becomes a matter of access too, right? And it will be very nice if you can go to a supermarket, like you said, and most of the stuff was actually healthy. But the reality is that it's the other way around.
Correct.
So as you go through this process of choosing, I mean, the whole process of actually reading everything and, and trying to understand what's in everything, it can be overwhelming.
Absolutely.
It can be overwhelming. On top of that, we have a society that is very focused on alcohol. We love alcohol. I love it, but more and more studies are showing that there's nothing good about it. Not only because of the inflammation that it can cause, but also because it damages the gut biome, right? So, what do you tell if you tell the average person, you know what, you can't drink. You can't eat the stuff that you like. You gotta eat all this stuff that's at one point was alive, right? You gotta move every day at least 30 minutes. And by the way, it's not just movement, it's actually lifting something. Weights, right? You gotta, don't be going to sleep at midnight, right? Go to sleep a little earlier, right?
Especially
and get up early.
If you're an oncologist.
Exactly, right? So, you're making it, we're making it impossible for the current society.
Right.
And the pressures that we have. What do you do? Give us a little bit of hope that maybe is there a way to enjoy some of the things that, we know may not be the best for us, but find some sort of balance?
I agree. So let's dissect it a little bit. So for the sake of the food, once again, when you go to the grocery store, it's simple. Go to the produce section. Everything there is real food. I'm not talking about organic yet, okay? Mm-hmm. I was talking to a friend of mine who's an entomologist, and she was able to mention, for us to really make something organic is almost impossible. So to what extent what you are paying for is really organic, I don't know. I have my questions about that. But in terms of how you are going to eat, so go to the produce section, go to the actual meat section. Not necessarily if you go by choose, if you choose to go by choice, if you go to the area where the pizzas are, well, it's your decision, right? You can do it, right? You're going to tell me, but I want to have a pizza here and there. Of course, right? I do it. Everybody does it, right? What you never see me doing is eating a hot dog or a hamburger or something like that, right? And actually, with my wife, we try to do is pizzas at home, right? We know that is better made, so be creative, right? And nowadays, as when you are looking and scrolling in Instagram, it's the same what you eat, is the same what you put in your mind, right? What you choose, what kind of content you're gonna get in your mind, you choose what kind of food you're gonna get in your system, right? Speaking about alcohol, there is not true that is any alcohol that is good. There is no wine that is good for you. Actually, one of the components that was sold in the past about the longevity was the resveratrol. Well, nobody knows what is the right dose of the resveratrol. Nobody knows in reality if the resveratrol is going to go into the inside the cell and going into the sirtuins and going into the mitochondria, et cetera, et cetera. It's quite difficult. And let me tell you, before you get any effect beneficial from the wine, you're going to die because of cirrhosis, because of that. So if you're going to drink wine, it's because you like it, it's because you're going to enjoy a glass of wine with a friend, with your wife, or with whoever, but not necessarily because you are believing yourself that you're doing something good for yourself. Forget about it. So every single drop of alcohol that you're drinking, you're just loading the gun and you're doing microbiota, I hate you. Done.
Interesting.
Simple as that. Now, if you're talking to me, Jacob, do you drink any alcohol? Yes, I love scotch. I drank some scotch with you, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So, but it's not something that happens every single day. So, of course, keeping the balance is absolutely right. But keep out of your minds that you're doing anything good by drinking alcohol. Same as smoking, same as I don't care if it's marijuana or anything like that. Of course, everything that is combustion that you're putting in your system is bad. Not to say the changes that you're creating with possible depression or psychosis, stuff like that. I'm going to mention something here like the Stoics. Stoicism is based on living your life every single day, and I apply it every single day in my life because of my job and because of the man that I am today. So live every single day as it was the last one. Just be grateful for every single thing that happens in your life. Just enjoy every single color, every single conversation, every hug. Don't go to bed by just having any regrets about something that happened during your life during that particular day. Life is too short. Enjoy it. But enjoy it thinking like, yes, today is a good day, but eventually you will become 100 years old. And you want to be a good 100-year-old and not somebody who's going to be dependent upon somebody else to do everything for you. So remember the concept. One thing is lifespan, and another thing is health span. And I want to die young, but the latest possible.
I love how you did that. That's a great way to wrap everything and put it all together. You're talking about the Stoics. I'm a big fan of Marcus Aurelius,
Me too.
who was a student of Aristotle, who was a student of Plato, who was a student of Socrates. It goes back to the Greeks, right? They weren't perfect, but they had a lot of really good stuff, figured out. Jacobo, unless anybody has any questions for Jacobo, I want to thank you.
No, thank you for having me.
We could have done another hour.
Absolutely.
Talking about more stuff. So maybe you can come back in the future and we can continue this conversation. You can share. I'm fascinated by what you said about the volume of data that is, of peer-reviewed scientific data that is coming out on a daily basis. It's impossible to keep up, but hopefully with some, innovation in AI, we can all benefit from all those studies, because that is really what's making it's making a difference in my life,
Mine
in
too.
the way that I approach my life, and the way that I consume data, and how that allows me to then try to take a little bit better care of myself. So I want to thank you for being here and for the work you do. And thank you, everybody that's watching online. We're going to be doing another one of these in a couple of weeks. And thank you for those of you who made the long drive to be here with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.